Born in Jamaica.
Where in Jamaica?
In St. James.
Now, Brother Taylor, if you'd like to just tell me a little bit about your background while you were in Jamaica in terms of your family relations, your brothers and sisters, cousins, that sort of thing, before you came to England?
Yeah, well, I went to elementary school. I left school when I was 15 years of age. I went straight to trade, mason trade. Well, after a while, things started to go, should I say,
Down.
yeah, or slack, whatever. Then my dad asked me if I would like to immigrate to England.
Okay, now, your relationship with your dad and your family, were you the youngest of?
No, I'm the fourth of 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your family.
Well, it's six boys and 4 girls. And well, we get on very close, really. But I think it was 1960 when my dad suggests to me that he asked me if I would like to go to England first, but I wasn't quite sure.
Why was that? How old are you when he asked you? 20? Something like that?
I was just about 20 because my 21st birthday, it's when I was coming to England.
Okay. And what was your visions of England before being under British rule?
Well, to be honest, I thought that everybody in England were rich people, you know. But when I came here, I saw that it was something different.
Okay. Now, you said that your family were very close. Were you all Christian?
Yes.
Okay. So is that why you were so close, do you think?
Yes.
Okay. So what was church like, or your Christian experience like in Jamaica before you came here?
Well, very good. Very good.
Why was that?
Now, well, should I say the unity was there in the church, because some things that I've seen happening in the church today, in those days, you wouldn't see or hear they happen.
Okay. And was there more unity in your community as well, then, would you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, in those days, you could leave your house door open, the church open. Nobody would interfere. Still, you would have people that steal, but not like today. And in those days, if anyone steal, they look down on themselves in a sense, and as if they are degraded or something like that. But today, a person would steal you and still look straight in your face, as if there's no shame. He isn't ashamed of what he done.
Okay. So you mentioned that there was a recession or something at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then what year was that?
I was in the 60, well, it says 60, 61, something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at the age of 20, your father suggested that you come to England. It was just you by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. And was he going to come with you?
No.
Okay. So just tell me a little bit about that then. And why he chose England.
Well, he used to travel to and fro from America, but it was like say 6-month term to and fro, you know, and what they call it contract to and fro from America. But like England, you could come to England permanent, you know. You could stay as long as you possibly can. But like America in those days, it was like a 6-month contract. And I think you would have to like get a card to go to them places, you see. But England was like a straightforward thing.
Mm. So, how long after your father suggested it to you did you come to England?
I think it was
Could you
a
repeat
year.
Could you repeat the question as well, please? In your answer.
How long
Yeah.
after my father suggests it to me, I came here? About a year after.
And what preparations did you make?
Well, I had one of my aunt in England here, so it was she who my mother wrote. Well, it was my mother's sister, so she wrote to her and asked her if she could like take me, you know, like I could stop with her until I get a job. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay. Do you remember? I mean, I suppose it sticks out in your mind. Do you remember the exact date that you left Jamaica and how you actually travelled? Did you travel by plane, boat?
No, it was ship.
Okay.
I think I know it was in December, but I don't quite remember the date.
December when? It's what year?
In 61.
December 61.
Mm.
Okay. And you went by ship. Was it? How many people were on the ship? Do you remember any memories of the ship?
Oh yes, it was the Askena, and well, it was hundreds of us. I don't quite remember how many, but it was hundreds of people. But it was, I think it was 12 and a half days it took us from Jamaica to England in those days.
Was that the first time you've ever been on a ship?
Yeah.
The journey, were you feeling sick or couldn't wait to get off? Or
Yeah, well, I had some good time and some bad on the ship, because when the sea get rough, you know, it stir you up, you know, when it's calm, it's all right. So therefore, we had some good time and some bad one.
Okay. Now, you left Jamaica in December. Now I presume then that was quite cold in England, was it? So your first impressions, was it snowing?
Yes, snow and frost. In those days, we used to have nothing but some hard snow.
Had you ever seen snow before?
Now,
Could you repeat that before? Say you never seen snow.
no, I've never seen snow before.
Okay. And then how did you feel, apart from being very cold, how did you feel when you reached England?
Well, when I came here, if I had my fare, I would have booked and went straight back that said day.
So, okay, your first impression. So what did you do? You went to your aunt.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long after did you find work?
About 3 weeks after.
Okay. And what were you doing? What was your first job?
I went as an apprentice doing grinding metal.
Okay. And how much did that pay in those days?
£6. I can remember until this day. It was £6 and 1 penny.
Okay.
For the week.
Okay. And was that much different from England in terms of payment? Was it much more than in Jamaica?
No, well, as I mentioned before, I had a trade in Jamaica, and it varied. Sometimes I might get £5, sometimes £3, you know. But the difference is I don't have to pay for any heat for warm clothes or anything like that. But here, getting like £6, you got to pay for your digs. You got to buy warm clothes, shoes, and such like. So it was.
Worked out the same then, really.
Well, I think it was worse here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in a sense, you got to provide for all those things. Otherwise, school would kill you.
So, how long after was it that you got your own house and so forth? You became independent. How long did you live with your auntie?
Well, I lived with her about 2.5 months, and then I went and get my own room, rent room, you know.
And how many people were living in that house?
About 8 of us.
8 men, 8 women?
No, it was mixed, like.
Okay. And what was the relationship like in the house? People with different standards. You coming from your Christian background, what was it like?
Well, it was hard because you get influence from various ways,
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard in a sense because, for instance, I used to go to church, and a friend of mine that was living on the same building, he wasn't a Christian, and he used to gamble. He used to go to bingo and such like. And it happens that sometime he would go to bingo and he won some money, and he came in and started to, like boast on me and saying, well, oh, each night you just come in and you go in your room and locked up and you don't go anywhere. Well, in those days you don't have friends could come and encourage you like as a Christian, you know. It isn't like today wherein if your friends in the church miss you for a while, they would ask for you and come and seek you out and things like that. So your influence, you have, well, should I say, bad influence around you, you know, and that.
Close the window. It's a bit noise.
Yeah, you have bad influence around you, and those things can easily draw you away from your Christianity if you are not firm.
Would you say that you were firm?
No. If you had somebody to help you along, you would be much more firmer.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have somebody with a different
Standards.
view, different view,
Mm-hmm.
you can easily.
And how long were you in that position for?
Well, for a couple of years, well, because we worked together. We even used to cook together. We share a lot of different,
So, okay, so you had that. So how long was it before you moved on? And what sparked this change in you?
Well, after that, well, I still have to keep moving from one address to another.
Hmm.
And
What was the conditions like?
well, in those days, it isn't like today, because you would have like 3-4 different families living in one house. Everybody have to use the same toilet, same bathroom, same kitchen. You have to do it by terms. If you need to have a meal cooked,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have certain time wherein you can go in the kitchen, because sometimes if it's 4 different families living in the house, it's 4 different pot would have to be on the stove.
Mm-hmm.
So it's completely different from
back home.
Well, from back home or no.
Right. So you said that you found it being worse and so forth. So you went home, and this was supposed to be your place of refuge, and the conditions weren't very good. So what about work? How did you find the conditions at work and being accepted by people?
At work, there was, I met with some nice people
Mm-hmm.
in this country and some bad ones, because I remember one of them caused me to fight him. Asked to fight, just to feel within myself that I'm justified,
Mm-hmm.
because it was as if it was a ticks in my back.
What sparked this?
At work,
Yeah. Why? Why was this?
now is the questions that he keep asking me, and the way he want to treat me as if I don't know or can't speak English. Whether he think I didn't know nothing about English or what, but to me it seems as if well, in those days they look at the black
It's talked
race.
down to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they look down on you and says, well, you don't understand what they are saying, so they can do anything to you or say anything to you.
So what other ways other than talking down to you did people degrade you in those times?
Well, yes, not everybody, as I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
You've had some nice one, but
You referring to English people?
yeah.
Okay.
But some of them that I work with, they were terrible.
So you did talk down to you. What else?
I remember this one. He asked me one day. He says, Lincoln, why did you leave your country and come to England? I says, well, I come to work money. And he hate me. He hate me from that day. He asked me a question. I told him the truth. And he hate me for it.
Okay. And how do you know that he hated you, or what way did he act towards you which would give you that?
No, well, a person can tell when the next one don't like them by their action.
So some tension there.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else? Because you said that you mentioned that there were some good people. So what? Could you give me an example of how people were nice or treated you fairly?
Yeah. I met with some, and if you ask them any favor, they would do it, or if they can't do it, they would tell you honestly that they can't do it. And I met with some, they know they can grant you the favor, and they tell you dead blank, no, I'm not.
Okay. So, did you want to have a break at all, or do you want to continue?
No, you can continue.
Okay. Now, tell me a little bit about your family life and how you began to start your family and so forth. How did that come about? When did you first meet your wife?
Well, it's after I leave the church, because I mentioned to you before about the influence from various ways. After I leave the church, I was out in the world doing my own thing. And then I met my wife. Well, she also was out in the world. Then we married, and then went back in the church.
So would you say that your wife was a positive influence on you?
Well, should I say? Well, yes, because if for instance I didn't marry, perhaps I would be still out in the world.
So it gave you some stability.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and then tell me a little bit about your children and how you've developed since you've been married. How many children do you have, Brother Taylor?
8.
You have 8 children. Their names?
Sandra, Philippa, Stephanie, Janet, Wayne, Darren, Elisha, and Gemma.
So how was that? I mean, how old's your oldest daughter?
36 now.
So what was it like having so many children with that income those years ago? Was it a struggle, would you say?
Yes, it was. It was.
It was what? You have to repeat the question.
It was a hard struggle.
Okay.
To bring them up.
And did you have any problems with schooling or anything like that? Anything that springs to mind?
No, not exactly. There wasn't any problem with schooling because they all went to school, and to be honest, some of them fare out pretty good, because when he went through university and he had a good job.
Okay. And is there anything else that you'd like to mention about your family, the joys of parenting, or the heartaches or the headaches, or anything in particular which springs to mind?
Well, I couldn't really say that my children give me any severe heartaches, because they haven't been in any trouble to put themselves to shame or to put the parents to any shame. So therefore, in a sense, I'm proud of them.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Is that because of their Christian upbringing?
Yes, I think so. I believe so.
Just repeat that.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Because while you ask the Lord to help you, He will help you.
Okay. And would you say then that the what's been the major influence in your life has been your Christianity? Would you say?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in terms of politics and racism and achievements, you mentioned that your son um, has gone through to university and is a bit successful. Um, so that's achievements in terms of your children. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention? Something that you're proud of? I mean, obviously you said you're proud of your kids, but
Well, the main thing that why I'm proud of them so far, it is because they haven't get themselves mixed up in any bad company and let the police have to harass them or things like that and put them to shame and or to put us as parents to shame.
were you very strict when you were as a parent?
Yes, and I'm still it.
Okay. Now, in terms of politics, how has that affected your life, do you think?
I don't know much about politics.
Who do you vote for?
Well, I always a Labour man.
Okay. Any particular reason for that?
Well,
They're just better than the Conservatives.
well, to be honest, I don't know if it's what do you call it, tradition or what, but my parents always be a Labour, right? And I came and I just followed the trend.
Okay. Now, can you, I mean, just looking back on the years, how many years have you been here so far?
Since 62, so it's about 38, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, have you noticed any significant changes in Wolverhampton for the better or for the worse since you've been here? Any more opportunities, anything that's come your way?
Yeah, well, it's a lot better than before.
How?
Should I say the standard of living, as I mentioned before about how 5 or 6 different families would have lived in one home, but now you don't get it like that. It's one family to a home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's a lot of
Improvement.
Yeah.
And your work situation. I
Yeah.
presume that you earn more money, but your actual working conditions, has that improved?
Yes, that as well. It's improved a lot, the working condition.
How?
Because in the early 60s, you would have to manually lift certain weight, you know. But these days now, you got like crane or stack a truck or something to move anything that you need to move. But in the 60s, you have to lift it manual. Maybe 3 4 people would have to live together and all those things. It's much better.
Okay. And how has this really affected your life?
Well, each and every one of us looking forward for better, not worse. So therefore, if we see better come, we should accept it and be glad.
Okay. And have you any plans to go back home to Jamaica, or has this become your home?
Well, this become my home because that's the only home I've got.
We have eight.
Eh?
You have what? 9 brothers and sisters.
Yeah, nine. But most of them, they are in Canada and America.
Okay.
Well, some still in Jamaica, but the majority of us is away.
Have you made any visits back to Jamaica since?
Yes.
How often did you go back?
Well, I was there about 2 years now since I came back.
You've been there how many times in the last 38 years?
Is twice.
Twice?
Mhm.
Really? And has it changed much?
Yes,
Better or worse?
better.
Okay.
Well, should I um, should I say it's better in one way? What of the improvement that I've seen there is like the houses. But what I still doesn't agree with until this day is when I leave Jamaica, it was run by the English. You could take the money from Jamaica and come here and spend it. Just go and spend it because it was the same currency. But no, it's different. And the dollars, it doesn't worth much there because I think it's about $50 to $60 to £1. So we have here like inflation, and they can control certain things, but in Jamaica it's like there's no control. You can sell things for anything you feel like. Well, I don't agree with that.
Okay. So in terms of technology improving, but you know, since the currency and the financial things not very good at the moment. Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Not exactly, and whatever you ask, then I'll answer. But
Okay. Okay. And your contribution since you've come here, is there anything that you'd like to tell us about?
my contribution
Yeah.
towards this country.
Yeah, society, church, work, family, anything. Since you've been here, you're 38 years. How do you think that you've contributed?
Well, I've contributed all.
Your taxes, I know.
So, what else? What else? What?
Well, you sing in a group. You're a deacon, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, just tell us a bit about your contributions and
Oh, that way.
everything's a contribution.
Yes. I sing in a group. I sing in the choir. I've been a deacon for many years, and I enjoy doing those things, especially singing. I love singing. So it's just in the church you want.
Anything. Have you done any community things?
Well, yes. Well, what I really enjoy is like visiting like sick people and bring encouragement to them and pray for them, and so all those things I enjoy doing. Bring comfort to those who are down. And I love to make people laugh.
So you're a bit of a comedian then, Brother Taylor?
Well, no, I don't think it's a comedian, but
You do your best.
I like to make people happy.
Oh. Okay.
If I see wherein a person is sad, I try to make them happy. I don't push them down further and make them worse. I try to help them to be better.
Excellent. Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add? Okay, then we'll stop there. Super. Thank you very much.